So when Jesus says to them in Matthew chapter 24 that not one stone will be left upon another, and then they ask him, well, when are these things going to occur? And he says, before this generation passes away, these things are going to occur. He says, you will see the Son of Man coming in power on the clouds. And everyone's thinking that's a reference to the end of the world. No, it's not. It's a reference to 70 A.D.
What the fuck does it mean to say that the Son of Man would come on the clouds? And how does the destruction of the temple in any way resemble those words?
He said that in 30 A.D. What's a generation? 40 years. 40 years later, 70 A.D.,
he said this generation shall not pass away before his prophecy is fulfilled. If he said this in 30 CE and it didn't happen until 40 years later, that would mean that they happened precisely when the generation passed away, not before. And also, where do you get the figure that a generation is 40 years? That would only make sense if the average age at which people had children was 40, which certainly wasn't the case back then.
The Roman army descends upon Jerusalem, and they wipe out Jerusalem. They wipe out the temple. Josephus said there was nothing left. Now, what's all this business about coming in the clouds? What could you see? By the way, Jerusalem's elevated. What could you see from 100 miles if an army was coming on Jerusalem? A cloud of dust.
That's a mighty big hermeneutic stretch there, Frank. If that's what Jesus meant, why the fuck did he say it in such a vague, easily misinterpretable way? What the fuck could possibly be the point of that? Also, he said the Son of Man would come on the clouds. How the fuck is that a reference to the Romans?
In fact, in the Old Testament, in Isaiah 19, it says Yahweh rides a cloud of judgment against Egypt.
So Yahweh in this case is the Romans? Also, most apologists insist that when Jesus says the Son of Man, he's referring to himself, even though he's speaking in the third person. If that's the case, where was Jesus in all of this? This is some epic hermeneutic contortionism. In order to believe that some prophecy was fulfilled, Frank wants us to buy that Jesus pointlessly talked in riddles, that the Son of Man refers to Yahweh, but also somehow refers to the Romans, and that coming on clouds means kicking up some dust. To everyone who helps me out on Patreon, you're a big help. Thanks so much.